Hello and welcome to Business Reporter's Digital Transformation 2018 campaign. I'm Alistair Greener and today I'm talking to Robert Barnes from TradeIX. Good morning.
Good morning, Alistair.
In an ideal world, how should an organisation obtain trade finance today?
Well, first of all, very easily, right? To do that, they should be able to go into their ERP system, be able to click on the information they need to share to access that, and they should be able to wait for a response to their request for trade finance. The bank should be able to consume all of that information and return a response within seconds to them. Clearly, that doesn't happen today.
Give me an idea of these more legacy systems, if you like, and how they and the technologies that are around at the moment are actually obstructing that ability to get trade finance in the easy way that we were hoping for.
Okay, so the legacy systems actually are at both sides. If you think about it, you've got the corporate here and you've got the bank. Now, the ecosystem is truly just not the corporate and the bank. It could be suppliers and customers, insurers, etc. But let's just take the corporate and the bank. The issue is that the banks have multiple siloed products, which in some cases are over 30 years old, that deliver trade products the way they prescribed them 30 years ago to the customer. The customer, on one hand, being the corporate, could be dealing with information that's locked within siloed systems on their premises, and they have to get information to the bank into these legacy systems, which are not just one, could be many, for the bank to consume that, make decisions, and then return a result to them. This, in some cases, takes months at the worst case. As I described at the beginning, we believe this happening in seconds, not months.
Despite the fact that that does sound like something that's difficult, as you say, it's got a lot of friction in it and it's not easy, there are going to be some skeptics out there who still will maintain that actually the older systems are better, that actually the simple thing of just going to the bank is easier. And there could be a CEO out there who's thinking, you know what, I'm going to stick to what I'm familiar with and what I know. What would you say to them? Well,
I think we'd take two approaches to that. One is seeing is believing. So the first thing I would do is I would switch on my computer, I would go on and I would show them a really live case of setting up and accessing a bank within a matter of a few minutes and getting that information to the bank and creating a transaction and showing a response. And then I would ask a lot of questions of the CEO as to how long does it take you today? How many people do you have involved in getting that information? What is the risk and the and the transfer of that information to the bank? And how fast does the bank respond to you? And then I would ask the last question and say, discounting all of that, are you going to get the best pricing based on the way you currently work with the bank today and the way you can work with the bank in the future?
You're advocating a fresh approach. You're talking about probably quite a different solution to what many people will be used to, that involves seamless communication, it's transparent, it's easy, it's fast. What are the key ingredients to make that solution work?
The key ingredients really is the use of technology, and the technology that we use is we apply that technology to how a customer, being a corporate, and how a bank actually operate themselves. So you hit on one thing by saying it's transparent and it's fast and it's easy, right? Well, the technology has to drive those three things, right? So the technology around cloud computing, the technology around blockchain, the technology around application program interfaces, and the technology around machine learning and actually having a lot of the processes move away from human intervention actually facilitate a better experience for the customer.
Tell me a little bit more about TradeIX. Where do you fit into all of this and how do you do what you do?
Right. TradeIX, we are not an Amazon, we are not a platform, we're not running any information ourselves. We are basically a technology provider providing what we call a distributed platform architecture using distributed ledger technology and the cloud, allowing banks to provide a better customer experience to their customers, working with ERP providers such as Oracle, Microsoft, SAP, to deliver an integrated experience into the systems that corporates use today to the banks. So in many respects, we're providing open banking for trade finance.
Talking there about blockchain, of course, it's the big buzzword at the moment. Everyone's talking about integrating blockchain into their systems. Tell us how it helps in this environment.
If I'm a corporate, the last thing I want to do is go and log on to 5 different banks' portals to do what I have to do, and 5 different pieces of information everywhere. It becomes massively difficult for me to manage that, costly, it's not very secure, etc. Using blockchain technology, what we've done is we've said, hey, guess what? We don't all have to sit on one platform. The platform can be distributed, right? So the bank it's running its platform, its services, and it's connecting through a distributed ledger technology to a corporate, which is permissioning what each bank, or in fact, not just the banks, what everybody in their trade ecosystem will see, from insurers, logistics providers, etc. So by doing this, by the use of the distributed ledger technology and blockchain, it's allowing us to stop having a customer or a corporate have to log into a lot of different applications. They can go to one application, being the ERP, and access many different services within their trade ecosystem.
We've talked a lot about this different approach, this new approach, a fresh approach to obtaining trade finance. For anybody who's watching, who's a key decision maker, what key takeaways would you like them to remember from this interview?
Trade finance and working capital optimization is going digital. It's going to be easy to access. It's going to be highly secure. Through the security, it's going to be a lot less risk, operational risk, as well as transactional risk, and it's going to deliver greater access to products and pricing when they need it, at the time that they need it.
And all of which is great news for any organisation trying to obtain trade finance. And you've given us a bit of a glimpse into the future there, and it's great to see how technology is going to be enabling this sector too. It's been great finding out more. Robert Barnes from TradeIX, thank you very much indeed.
Alistair, thank you very much.